A jar that costs less than many protein powders may solve one of the biggest eating problems after 80. But use it the wrong way, and you may add far more calories than protein, or create a swallowing risk most families never consider. Welcome to Dr. Claire Bennett. The spread is peanut butter, not a special senior formula, not a collagen powder, not an expensive drink in a small bottle. Just ordinary peanut butter, used in the right amount, with the right foods, for the right person. I want to be precise from the beginning. Peanut butter is not a miracle treatment for muscle loss. It does not replace meals, strength activity, or medical care. And it is not the highest protein food in your kitchen. What it can be is practical. After 80, the biggest nutrition problem is often not knowing what to eat. It is being able to eat enough, often enough, without spending a great deal of money or preparing a large meal. Appetite may be smaller. Teeth may be less comfortable. Dry mouth may make meat difficult. Fatigue may turn cooking into a major task. A person may feel full after half a sandwich. These are recognized barriers to adequate nutrition in older adults. That is where a familiar spread can help. 2 tablespoons of smooth peanut butter provide about 7 grams of protein and roughly 200 calories, although labels vary. It also provides mostly fat, so we must treat it as a concentrated food, not as unlimited protein. That distinction matters. If you need another 7 grams of protein and you have a poor appetite, 2 tablespoons may be very useful. If you already eat enough calories and assume half a jar is a protein meal, that can work against your goals. Let us first understand why protein deserves more attention after 80. Muscle does not disappear overnight. It usually declines gradually, and the body becomes less responsive to the protein signal from a meal. This is sometimes called anabolic resistance. In plain language, an older muscle may need a clearer signal from food and activity before it repairs and maintains itself effectively. The European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism recommends at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for older adults, with the amount adjusted for health, activity, nutrition status, and tolerance. Expert groups often suggest about 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram for healthy older adults, and sometimes more during illness or recovery under professional guidance. Here is what that looks like. A person who weighs 60 kilograms, or about 132 pounds, may need roughly 60 to 72 grams of protein in a day. At 70 kilograms, or about 154 pounds, the range is roughly 70 to 84 grams. At 80 kilograms, or about 176 pounds, it is roughly 80 to 96 grams. These are planning ranges, not prescriptions. Kidney disease, wounds, infection, recent surgery, frailty, and dialysis can change the target considerably. Now compare those daily numbers with 1 serving of peanut butter. 7 grams is helpful, but 7 grams is not a full day. It may not even be enough to make a low-protein breakfast adequate by itself. This is the most important lesson in the video. Peanut butter works best as a bridge, not as the whole protein plan. There is also new research worth discussing, honestly. A 2026 randomized controlled trial followed 120 community-dwelling adults aged 65 and older who were considered at risk of falls. 60 participants were assigned 43 grams of peanut butter per day for 6 months, and 60 continued their usual diet. The average age was about 76. 70% were women, and 108 people completed the study. Compared with the control group, the peanut butter group improved the time needed to stand up from a chair 5 times by an estimated 1.23 seconds. Their calculated sit-to-stand muscle power also improved by about 22 watts, or 0.27 watts per kilogram. Those findings are encouraging, but they are not the whole story. Peanut butter did not significantly improve the study's main outcome, walking speed. It also did not significantly change grip strength, knee extension strength, total lean mass, or appendicular lean mass. That means the study does not prove that peanut butter builds muscle, prevents falls, or works specifically for everyone over 80. It suggests that a simple daily serving may support one measure of lower body performance in some older adults. More research is needed. The participants were also generally well-nourished and already averaged about 1.12 grams of protein per kilogram per day before the intervention. The researchers noted that this may have limited further gains. Adherence was about 86%, which tells us something practical. People were largely able to keep using the food for 6 months. For transparency, the study reported funding from the Peanut Institute, and the peanut butter was supplied by a manufacturer. The authors stated that the funder had no role in the study design, data collection, analysis, publication decision, or manuscript preparation. So why might peanut butter be useful after 80, even though it is not a miracle? First, it requires almost no preparation. You do not need to cook it, chew through a tough piece of meat, or wash several pans. Second, it is compact. When appetite is low, a small amount can add protein and energy without creating a large plate that feels overwhelming. Third, it is familiar. A food someone has eaten for decades is often easier to accept than a new supplement with an unfamiliar flavor or texture. Fourth, it can be mixed into other foods. That is where it becomes much more useful. Imagine breakfast is tea and 1 slice of toast. That meal may contain very little protein. Add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and you add about 7 grams. Add a cup of milk or fortified soy beverage, and the total may move closer to 15 grams, depending on the label. Add an egg, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or another protein food later in the meal, and now breakfast begins to contribute meaningfully to the day. Health Canada includes eggs, nuts, seeds, fish, legumes, and lower-fat dairy among suitable protein foods for older adults. The goal is not to make peanut butter carry the entire meal. The goal is to use it to close a gap. Here are 5 senior-friendly ways to do that. The first is peanut butter stirred into warm oatmeal. Use 1 or 2 tablespoons, then add milk or fortified soy beverage. Stir well so the texture is smooth. This is often easier for people who find dry toast tiring to chew. The second is peanut butter mixed into plain Greek yogurt. Start with 1 tablespoon and mix until there are no thick clumps. Depending on the yogurt, this snack may provide far more protein than peanut butter alone. The third is a simple smoothie. Blend milk or soy beverage, yogurt, half a banana, and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. This can be useful for a small appetite, but anyone with diabetes should account for the total carbohydrate, and anyone with a swallowing disorder should use only the thickness recommended by their swallowing team. The fourth is thinly spread peanut butter on soft, whole-grain toast, served with eggs. 2 eggs provide a substantial protein base. The peanut butter adds more protein, energy, and flavor without requiring a larger serving of meat. The fifth is a savory peanut sauce. Thin 1 tablespoon with warm water and mix it into soft tofu, lentils, or well-cooked vegetables. This is an easy way to combine more than 1 plant protein source and make a soft meal taste richer. Notice what all 5 ideas have in common. The peanut butter is paired with another protein food. That is how a modest 3, 4, or 7 grams becomes part of a 15, 20, or 25-gram eating occasion. Numbers will vary by brand and serving size, so read the nutrition facts label rather than relying on the front of the jar. Now let us choose the jar carefully. Look for peanuts near the beginning of the ingredient list. A simple product may contain peanuts alone, or peanuts with a small amount of salt. If you have high blood pressure or fluid retention, compare sodium between brands. The USDA example provides 160 milligrams of sodium in 2 tablespoons, but some products contain less and some contain more. If you have diabetes, compare added sugar as well as total carbohydrate. Peanut butter itself is not a free food. The amount matters, and the jam, honey, sweetened yogurt, or large banana served with it may change the glucose effect more than the peanut butter. If weight gain is not your goal, measure the portion. 1 level tablespoon is very different from a large spoonful straight from the jar. A tablespoon can quietly become 2 or 3. For an older adult losing weight unintentionally or struggling to finish meals, the extra energy may be helpful. For someone trying to reduce body weight, manage reflux, or control total calories, it may not be. There are also people who should not use this strategy without extra caution. The first group is anyone with a peanut allergy. The correct amount is 0. Do not test tolerance at home after a previous reaction. The second group is anyone with dysphagia, coughing during meals, a wet or gurgly voice after swallowing, repeated chest infections, or a history of choking. Smooth peanut butter feels soft, but it is sticky. That stickiness can make it difficult to move safely through the mouth and throat. Canadian dysphagia guidance advises that sticky foods should not be eaten alone and may need to be mixed into cooking or spread very thinly on an allowed food. A person on a texture-modified diet should follow the exact plan from a speech-language pathologist or dietitian. Do not assume that smooth automatically means safe. The third group is people with chronic kidney disease. Protein needs in kidney disease are not one-size-fits-all. Some people who are not on dialysis may need to avoid high-protein diets. People on dialysis may need more protein. Potassium, phosphorus, sodium, medications, and blood results also matter. If you have kidney disease, do not copy a protein target from a video. Ask your renal dietitian or clinician how peanut butter fits your personal plan. The fourth group is anyone with severe reflux, ongoing diarrhea, unexplained abdominal symptoms, or difficulty tolerating high-fat foods. Peanut butter is concentrated and high in fat. Start small and pay attention to symptoms. The fifth group is someone whose appetite has suddenly changed. A new loss of appetite after 80 should not automatically be treated by adding calories. Dental pain, depression, medication side effects, constipation, infection, swallowing problems, thyroid disease, cancer, and other conditions may reduce intake. Food can support the person, but it should not hide the cause. Here is a simple way to use peanut butter safely for 2 weeks. First, identify the weak meal. For many older adults, it is breakfast. For others, it is the late afternoon, when lunch was small and dinner feels far away. Second, choose a measured amount. Begin with 1 tablespoon once a day. If appetite is poor and the extra calories are appropriate, increase to 2 tablespoons after checking tolerance. Third, pair it. Do not count peanut butter as the only protein source. Add milk, yogurt, eggs, tofu, beans, lentils, fish, poultry, or another food that fits your health needs and preferences. Fourth, observe 4 things. Is the meal easier to finish? Does it cause coughing or a sticky feeling in the throat? Does it worsen reflux or bowel symptoms? Is body weight moving in the desired direction? For people who monitor glucose, also check whether the full meal, not just the peanut butter, fits the glucose plan. Fifth, add muscle activity if it is safe for you. Protein provides building material. Muscles still need a reason to use it. That reason can be simple resistance work, repeated chair stands, wall push-ups, carrying light groceries, or exercises prescribed by a physiotherapist. The 2026 peanut butter trial did not add a structured exercise program, and it did not show a gain in muscle mass. Broader evidence consistently points to the combination of adequate protein and resistance exercise as more effective than relying on a protein food alone. Please choose exercise that matches your balance, joints, heart health, and fall risk. A person who becomes dizzy, has chest pressure, or has recently fallen needs professional guidance before starting. Let me give you 3 realistic examples. Margaret is 84 and has lost interest in breakfast. She drinks tea and eats half a piece of toast. She is also slowly losing weight. For her, oatmeal made with milk and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter may be easier to finish and more useful than simply spreading more butter on toast. Robert is 82, has diabetes, and wants more protein but does not need more calories. For him, 1 measured tablespoon mixed into plain Greek yogurt may make more sense than a thick peanut butter and jam sandwich. He still needs to check the yogurt label and account for the full snack. Anita is 87 and coughs when she eats bread. For her, peanut butter on toast is not a safe experiment. She needs a swallowing assessment. Peanut butter may need to be avoided or modified according to her prescribed texture. Same food. 3 different decisions. That is what good senior nutrition looks like. Not good or bad, but appropriate or inappropriate for the person in front of us. So, should you forget expensive supplements? Not always. Oral nutrition supplements can be valuable for malnutrition, recovery after illness, severe appetite loss, or when a clinician has prescribed a specific formula. Some contain much more protein per serving than peanut butter and may be designed for particular medical needs. But many older adults buy costly powders before checking whether a simple food could solve a smaller problem. Clinical nutrition guidance supports modifying ordinary food first when possible and considering oral nutrition supplements when food alone cannot meet nutritional requirements. If the problem is a 5 to 10 gram protein gap, low appetite, limited cooking energy, or difficulty chewing whole nuts, peanut butter may be an affordable tool. If the problem is major weight loss, frailty, repeated falls, kidney disease, or swallowing difficulty, a jar is not the full answer. The most honest conclusion is this: peanut butter is cheap, convenient, energy-dense, and moderately rich in protein. 2 tablespoons provide about 7 grams of protein in a common USDA product. A recent 6-month trial found an improvement in one chair rise performance measure and calculated muscle power, but not walking speed, muscle strength, or muscle mass. So use peanut butter as a small, measured addition to a balanced protein plan. Pair it with another protein food. Respect allergies, kidney needs, glucose goals, and swallowing safety. And remember, after 80, the best nutrition strategy is rarely the most expensive one. It is the one you can eat safely, regularly, and with enough variety to keep your strength supported day after day.